All right, everyone, welcome back to Let's Go with Lex and G. I'm Jeffrey Jerome.
I'm Lex Levy.
And today we are at the Heitate Shrine, the oldest shrine in Japan. This site and the location upon which the shrine is constructed is dated back to 16,000 years ago, approximately 14,000 BC, the beginning of the Jomon period. So we're going to take a look at the shrine, ask some questions about what is the oldest artifact on the site, how did they come up with this date of 14,000 BCE for this location, get our Goshuin autographed. Again, we'll show you the whole book.
It's so cool.
And so you can see what these little, the stamp and calligraphy symbol of the shrine. It's a really, really cool memory to have. So I think that's it for the intro. Thank you all so much. Let's go.
Let's go. Very good. So you bow before the Torii Gate.
Okay. Let's go.
Let's go. So we're gonna check out this tree over here. Was it struck by lightning?
So I see that this one is cut, which it may have, you know, in a recent tsunami or something, the main part of the tree may have broken down and they cleaned it up a little bit.
Oh, that's huge.
It's a huge tree. And you could only imagine what it would have looked like with the original, I keep wanting to say stalk, but trunk, not tree stalk, tree trunk. Pretty crazy. And so this rope is called the shimenawa, and the little white pieces of cloth are called shide. The shimenawa represents thunderclouds. Shide represent lightning and fertility, and the little pieces of rope hanging down represent rain, also associated with agriculture. If you're interested in more discussion on that, check out my channel, the Land of Chem. So I think this is your first Let's Go episode looking at the shrines here in Japan, but also check out Alexa's channel, Ancient Odysseys, for more of our ancient structure research expedition to Japan. So at these Shinto shrines, there's always a sacred object from nature that is the focus of reverence for the shrine. Again, Shintoism is not necessarily a religion, but a belief system that focuses on, I don't want to say worship, but certainly adoration of natural objects, nature spirits, etc. So at these Shinto shrines, there's usually a sacred tree or a sacred megalith or rock or waterfall or island or, you know, some mountain natural object that is said to be the sacred object and spiritual center of the shrine location. So that's one of the things that we'll be looking at today, is asking some questions to the staff here, because I'm very, Teru will be asking the questions to determine what is the oldest object at the shrine. How is this shrine dated to 14,000 BCE? Again, this is said to be a 16,000-year-old site, which corresponds to the Jomon period here in Japan, which we've also been investigating on our mutual ancient site channels. So this is an ancient civilization in Japan dating from around 14,000 BCE to around, 400 or 500. There's also a transitionary period that happens at the end of the Jomon period into the Yaoi period, but we won't get too much into the weeds on that here on this channel. So we're also going to show you the purification area where you always wash your hands with water. Most of it is natural spring water, and you do a hand and general cleansing ritual.
I found something.
Yeah, tell us, tell the people. This is our friend Teru, who's been helping us on this expedition.
So this lantern, right?
Yep.
I think these are copper, right? Maybe
Yes, copper.
Yeah. This crest here, okay, that's the special one. Very unusual. And these are the 7 gods on a lucky boat.
Yeah.
I think I've been explaining about this Abyss god. Came, I think it's a Phoenician origin.
Okay.
Yeah, those are the seven gods came by boat.
So now we're talking about kind of Japanese mythology and the arrival of the 7 gods to Japan on this sort of special boat. Again, this is looking like a turtle symbol here,
and the crane.
Waves, the crane, also symbols from
2 symbols of the very celebrated, happy sort of.
Let me get my reflection out of the way so you can see that a little better.
And these are the 2 feather of hawks, which is a kind of very common crest, but more from the Edo period, more recent. But I found like the seven gods relief here. It's kind of interesting. It's sort of to say, we are the mixed bunch.
You can also see the little deer guy in there. We saw some deer. I think that'll go on Let's Go. The deer at Nara Park.
And then you see.
Okay, so you'll see the deer at Nara Park, where these wild deer just have taken over the city in Nara.
But it kind of makes sense that they want to say, the gods are from all over the place.
Representing all of the gods here, yes. All right, so this, well, again, there's a torii gate here. Custom always being to bow at the entrance of the torii gate. And here, we'll watch Alexa perform the cleansing ritual. So there's usually a source of spring water at these sites, and the custom is to wash your hands.
Taro taught us to do this.
Yep.
Spits out. Don't drink it.
Don't drink it?
Yeah, don't drink it. Just to cleanse and then spit it out. Yeah, but when you spit it out, you can cover your mouth, spit it out. Okay. Yeah. Perfect. Yes. Perfect.
And it looks like just an additional little hand washing station here.
Yeah, now your turn.
Okay.
Oh, I should do my face too. And here's another sacred tree. Sacred tree on the site, and we'll show you the ritual here at the main shrine. We've seen these same type of trees at many of the other shrines that we visited. There's another object of reverence, which is a pretty gnarly looking piece of tree trunk there. Typically in these little shrines to the side, there's also a sacred object inside of the shrine here. Which one? Right by the first pillar.
Yeah, so these shrines are loaded with symbolism. There's a, you know, they have crests and all sorts of symbols and scenes from the Japanese mythology and Shinto mythology carved into the shrine. And the ritual at these shrines is you approach the shrine, you ring the bell to let the Shinto gods know that you have arrived. You bow twice in reverence, then to yourself. You don't pray or make any requests. You just, in your head, you say your name and the place where you live, and then you bow again, and that's it. So that's what you just saw the guy doing here. You wanna do it?
Let's go.
Okay. I'll film Alexa as she goes and does her prayer.
Do you want to go with me?
It's customary to never stand in the center. You always stand off center, and they're actually doing a prayer ritual inside of the shrine. Now there's the Shinto priest in there.
Is it okay while they're praying? Okay.
Cool. All right, now let's explore, and we're gonna see if we can find
Was I supposed to make it open?
someone to talk to. We're also gonna get our Goshuin signed. So let's see if we can find that real quick so you can see the book. And you can see all of the calligraphies that we have obtained thus far. Not sure where that is. So there also looks to be a little nature trail over here. It should be nice to take a little walk down in through here. Maybe it takes you to another parking lot or something of that nature, but again, the focus of Shintoism is general just appreciation. I don't like to use the word worship per se, but certainly adoration and reverence for nature, the spirits of nature, the forces of nature. A lot of them involving thunder and lightning gods that are associated with agriculture. Yeah, so of course there's lots of dragon imagery, also associated with thunder and lightning.
They're pre-made.
Pre-made ones here. So we're going to get one of these for our book. So, and let's get both too.
Okay.
We can grab one of these. Good, there's only 2 left.
Oh, we got
So we can get one, yep. Alright, so this is our temple book. And these stamps and calligraphy are called Goshuin. And at each one of the shrines, you go to a little desk and they will inscribe your book with the, I think this is upside down, maybe this way, who knows? I think it was this way. And I'm not sure which way this is supposed to be oriented. You can see how beautiful these things are. And it's been a really fun part of the journey to visit all of these different sites. This one's from the Todaiji. Really beautiful with the red stamp and the black ink calligraphy. This is another one of the pre-made ones here. Okay, which way is this supposed to go? I don't know, man. But we will add this one to the book. If you want to grab one of those, I think.
Smaller one? Oh, it's red.
I think this is a nice little piece of wood.
Wood too?
So this is paper. That we can
This might fit.
put onto the book here. Yep. Okay, you want to do that one?
Yeah.
Okay. can get all that organized. Let me make my donation here.
Okay.
But Goshuin Temple Stamp Book. So if you ever come to Japan, I highly recommend picking up one of these Goshuin. And anytime you go to a shrine, there's usually a little, I don't want to say vendor, but a little house, office, hut area, whatever you want to call it, where you can pay a small fee and have this stamp and calligraphy inscribed in your little book, which is pretty cool. We love these things. They look awesome.
Great memories.
All right, so Teru, have you found any employees or anyone that we can consult?
As you can see, it's a quite
Yeah, self-service. Usually they have like these little kind of booths or, again, the word kiosk is kind of not really appropriate either, because they're, you know, they kind of look like this or whatever, and the door is open and there's some people in there that can sign your thing, or you can buy these little what's a good word for this? Totems?
Like
Basically, they are charms. Yeah, that's a good word too. Yeah. So, and all the different colors represent the different things that they will offer: prosperity, wealth,
prosperity, business, safe delivery of the baby, for study.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harley's very
That's it.
So again, our objective here was to again try and determine why this site is said to be 14,000 years old. But there's no employees here or anyone to talk to other than the priest that is inside of the shrine. So maybe he'll make his way out here in just a little bit. I'd imagine that there's some sacred objects inside that little shrine that I showed you just a minute ago. But it's an extremely beautiful site. And these people are kind of looking at us because we're filming. But go do your ritual, we're not bothering anyone. We've also been the only white people at a lot of these sites, which is very fun.
Get all the looks.
Yeah, we get all the looks. I love this type of aesthetic. So here in Japan, Buddhism and Shintoism have somewhat merged as the official spiritual practices of Japan. And you can see there's little offerings at this piece of wood here and these little statues. Typically, there are Buddhist temples and Shinto shrines. Yeah, it feels so good to be around some trees. I don't know if you viewers know, but we live in Egypt and there are no trees to be found anywhere, so we've definitely been enjoying experiencing the nature here in Japan. The trees are some of the most beautiful trees that I've ever seen in my entire life. It's just breathtaking. And being in the nature is a very healing, positive experience. And now we are on our almost last few days. We've been here for a month researching.
Like that.
Yeah, it went by very fast. We've been here for a month doing research for, again, both of our mutual channels, Ancient Odysseys and the Land of Chem. Links in the video description below if you want to check that out. And I think today is our second to last day. So Japan has been an amazing experience. Some of the most beautiful and powerful ancient sites that we've ever seen. The most beautiful scenery, amazing food. You'll see all that food stuff here on the channel. And if you're interested in seeing the research that brought us here to Japan, check out her channel, check out my channel. Links in the video description below. I think we're just gonna walk around and enjoy the site.
Let's do it.
And we'll see you next time. Let's go. Something special for those of you who stayed tuned to the end of the episode. So we were just fortunate enough to be invited to participate in an ancient Shinto prayer ritual inside of the temple here, where we spoke with the priest. He gave us some ocha, special prayer tea, and also gave us some information about the dating of the site and the sacred objects. So inside of the central temple here, there's a rock, a very shiny, metallic looking rock. Not sure what type of mineral it is, but it's a very unusual looking stone. And he also gave us some information about the dating of the site and the primary object of reverence, which is this tree here, this huge tree. And he said that the root or the core of the tree is where they get the dating of the site. Now, this tree itself is not 16,000 years old, but the root ball and the root of the tree, so every 2,000 years or so, the tree will die, but a new one grows from this same spot. So it's been continually growing here. Of course, this is just his explanation. That again, the core or the root from which this tree is currently growing, for example, you can see another one growing out here. So perhaps when the older one dies, another tree is constantly growing from this site. So again, this is the main object of reverence here at the Heitate Shrine, the oldest shrine in Japan, dated to 14,000 BC. And I can see that there's new tree growth sprouting out of this core root, so I can certainly see some truth in what the guy was saying. And very, very cool experience. So I was just asking Teru at this hotel that we're going to this afternoon. You know, it's one of these natural hot spring hotels, so they should have a good source of natural spring water that we can use to prepare this tea.
It's a great idea.
So it's not just tap water.
Has all the minerals from the local source. And we're so lucky to be a part of that ceremony.
So Tara was just saying that obviously the shrine itself is not 16,000 years old. The building, the Shinto Shrine, and even the term Shinto is something that came along in the relatively modern, so anytime I say modern, we're talking about AD, not BC. So when the classical history of Japan was developed. Konnichiwa. That's when terms like Shinto, defining this animistic nature spirit, again, it's not necessarily a religion, it's more of a spiritual belief practice. That's when these words came into play. Shinto shrines started being built. Later, Buddhism came along and they started building Buddhist temples on the same sites as these two belief systems were integrated. However, the site as a sacred place of worship with that tree dates back to prehistoric times, and the tree itself is the thing that's approximately dated to being 14,000 years old. So a very, very old sacred site upon which a Shinto shrine was later built. There is no Buddhist temple here, it's just a Shinto shrine, but typically you see an integration of those two things at the same sites here in Japan. And apparently we're going down to a spring. Again, all these places are directly connected to sources of subterranean water and springs, which is also connected to the ancient function of these sites. Check out the Land of Chem for more on that. And so this is the spring down here, the well.
Yeah, this is the right way.
Oh, cool. And there's another shrine down here. You can see this line of cedar trees here. Really beautiful. So all of the trees in Japan just sort of naturally look like bonsai trees. They're gorgeous. I love bonsai, and apparently that's just how they grow here. You can see the water running through here, coming from somewhere in the mountain. And you can see over here, the water is percolating down out through the mountain. You can just see it seeping out through the bedrock and the mud and the earth here. And now they have some of it flowing through this bamboo pipe.
We can drink this one. Don't drink it.
The water?
Yeah. The head priest said we can, the guy said we can drink both.
Okay. All right, so we're going to try some of this sacred spring water.
Okay, that it says about this water super interesting. So this pond from the ancient times is where the 8 dragon king was being calmed.
Okay.
I don't know what that means.
Okay.
And the god in this shrine is the Hokushin-myoken, basically the same as Yashiro Jinja we visited, which is the Polaris and 7 degrees.
Okay.
Yeah, so the star god is here.
So this is calming waters.
Yeah, it's a calming waters Yes. So it says 8 big dragon. 8 great dragon. That is cold.
Maybe I should
How's
drink
it
some
taste?
more. Okay. Hopefully
you.
it's safe to drink.
I'm sure it is.
Are you drinking?
I drank some, yes.
Yeah? Right. Oh,
Straight out of the tap.
yeah, straight out of the cup.
Curly's gonna have some.
It tastes pretty good, actually.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's pretty good, yeah. All right. So, I think that will conclude this nice little, very Japanese looking shot right here. Some water and a little lantern. So, thank you all for tuning in, staying with us to the end of the episode. And it's a very unique and special experience to be able to participate in that Shinto prayer ritual. Please like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more epic international travel related content. I'm Jeffrey Drum.
I'm Lex Levy.
This is Let's Go with Lex and G. We'll see you next time.
Jeffrey found the most beautiful beetle. Scary of it. We've seen more of these here than in Egypt. Look at the metallic.
Okay, little buddy.